Welcome back to Friends at 5. Okay, the Midlands are feeling the shakes. There have now been two earthquakes in Irmo since Friday. And the U.S. Geological Survey reported a magnitude quake on Sunday. I didn't feel it, but did you? News 19's Megan Doksha is following up, finding out why earthquakes are happening right here in the Midlands.
This is probably the most exposure South Colombians especially have had to earthquakes just over the last couple of weeks.
Last month, several earthquakes were felt by residents in Elgin. Now, Lexington County is experiencing them too. Friday, a 2.8 magnitude earthquake hit the Irmo area, and yesterday, another quake measured a 2.0. That's according to the United States Geological Survey. USC Assistant Professor Daniel Frost helps monitor seismic activity across the state. He says South Carolina does experience earthquakes from time to time, but they're usually small.
It just happens kind of everywhere. There are some places where there are more earthquakes than others, but where we are where we are in South Carolina, it's just there are earthquakes from time to time. Not the kind that anyone needs to worry too much about, not the kind that anyone needs to be buying earthquake insurance about.
Residents say the shaking caught them off guard.
A couple neighbors, when I went out on the back porch, were looking around, what was that? And immediately was like, must have been an earthquake, but it sounded really loud. And that boom was something different. It wasn't just a tremor, it was like almost like lightning had struck the house or something. So it was really bizarre.
She had the dishwasher on, and I turned and looked away, and all of a sudden there's a loud noise. And I thought for sure it was the dishwasher just like erupting or something. And then later to find out it was an earthquake. I couldn't believe it.
We heard a large sound that sounded like an explosion, and the house shook.
Scientists have not determined what caused the quakes. Frost says they would need to see a pattern or trend before drawing any conclusions. In other parts of the state, some earthquakes have been linked to lakes or dams, but he doesn't believe that's the case here.
I've been thinking about this, and I don't really think that there's any association between these earthquakes and and Lake Murray. The reason I say that is because I've been looking at the river levels or lake levels in Lake Murray, and there hasn't been any significant change.
One resident says her husband checked the lake after feeling the shake.
We've always been told that if the dam breaks, the water will flow away from our house. So he went out to check the lake and see if the levels had changed or anything had gone on with that, and it was the same.
And if you're worried about the Lake Murray Dam, experts say there's no need
to be withhold far beyond the kind of impact of these kinds of earthquakes. So I wouldn't be concerned on that front. We'd need a really big earthquake for that to occur.
Frost says aftershocks are possible, but again, they would likely be small. Reporting in Lexington County, Megan Doksha, News 19, WLTX.